Hi guys, it's Berry and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're only now just finding this. So today I'm here with part 1 of me building the Carrington Manor from Netflix Dynasty. I as I'm stuck in quarantine for like a month now, I'm self-quarantining because my work is closed. I have managed to binge watch the entirety of season 3 that is out now, so that's like 14 episodes. Uh, so I decided to finally take this time to build the Carrington Manor because I love this house, but it's just so complicated. That's why I think we're going to do 3 or 4 parts. This one is only the shell and the landscaping. I don't have every single piece of footage because I think that watching me struggle with terrain tools for pretty much 14 minutes straight is enough of suffering. Yeah, so I did cut some parts out because if I didn't, we would be here for hours. I literally started this build at like 11 p.m. and when I finished this, what you're seeing right now, it was like 4:30 a.m. So I spent pretty much the whole night. It took me like 6 hours to only do the shell, to do the terrain, and all that jazz. So it's really, really complicated. It's also complicated because it's like kind of up on a hill. The front of the house is kind of elevated from the back, and I never use terrain tools. I only used them like once when I was building the vineyard that you can also see on my channel. You can watch that next. Um, but so this was really me challenging myself to do something really like new and something that I've never done before. I've also never built a mansion. Um, I did like one mansion. I call it the Calabasas Mansion. It's up on the gallery and it's also like my first post on Instagram, which is Sister Simmers, by the way. We run it with my sister, and there's just a lot of legacy stuff on there. And whenever I do a build, I post it there, all that jazz. But I've never built anything this huge, and I am such a detailist. Everything just has to be detailed and it just has to match the original pictures and like the inspiration that I take as much as possible in The Sims. So this was just me pretty much for straight hour just staring at the reference pictures from the show, the house like a whole, and yeah. I also think that it's going to be really difficult for me to make the floor plan because there are some parts of the building that I have absolutely no idea what's supposed to be in there because there is no existing floor plan on the internet that I could find. I only found like the foyer, the living room, sitting room, dining room, all the jazz, Blake's office, everything like that. But that's kind of like given. That's pretty much you can get that from the show, but there's nothing more. So the floor plan is definitely going to be a struggle. I think I'm going to try and do it tonight as I'm making this voiceover. Yeah. So the reason why this is going to be divided in 2 parts is literally because only this took me about 6 hours and it's already long enough, even just for the shell and the landscaping. The landscaping is kind of not filmed. I also didn't film myself putting in all of the windows. You can just see it on the end screen. I put up some pictures of the finished shell with landscaping. I really didn't think that it was necessary for me to show you how I'm putting like 100 vines on the walls in the back, so I just didn't include that because that's just not really necessary. Yeah, but the this build is on the biggest lot in Brindleton Bay. It's 64 by 64. I think that the size is just not enough, even like this. The estate is huge. Um, I have no idea where the loft is supposed to be at, so I think maybe I'll just incorporate it into the build. I'm not really sure. The floor plan is still a huge mystery. I haven't done it. I haven't filmed it yet. I have no idea. So what you're seeing now is just what's there, what's finished now, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it will be good because right now I'm kind of proud of it. I think that the shell is really as accurate as it's possible for me right now in The Sims 4. What I don't understand is why we cannot have rounded pools. That's like a huge mystery to me. I don't think that it should be a problem. We have like rounded foundations, so I don't see the reason why we couldn't have rounded pools, but I digress. Mm, So, uh, I've kind of decided to finally do this build because I wanted to I wanted something to occupy my time because by now as I've been in quarantine for almost a month, nothing entertains me anymore. Like Netflix doesn't entertain me, The Sims don't entertain me, nothing. So spending 6 hours that you don't even know about on a build in The Sims 4 is kind of a welcome change. So that's kind of why I decided to finally do that. Also because I just started the new season of Dynasty and I just felt really, really inspired. If you also watch this show, let me know who is your favorite character. Mine is definitely Fallon, and I think she's like everybody's favorite character. Fallon is the best. So, right now we're getting to the roofing, which was surprisingly not as difficult as I thought that it would be. So, that was a pleasant surprise that it was just not that complicated. It's pretty much always the same type of a room, so that's kind of cool. It wasn't anything so difficult. The very difficult part is that I've tried to put like the rim around the what do you call that? Like the roof in the front. There's supposed to be like a rim, but for some reason it just didn't want it to stay there. So I had to replace it with another like roof piece under it kind of so it makes the look that I wanted. But you'll see that eventually in the end. I don't think it's filmed. I don't think it's part of the footage. It's just kind of there. Like I said, I will not include every piece of footage because we would be here for ages. I change my mind quite often in this build, and the floor plan is just, oh my god, that's going to be such a nightmare. I think this is like the first time, or maybe not the first time, where like the floor plan is worse than the roofing. Because we all know how difficult roofs are, or at least for me, and I know that for many other people, but maybe somebody has a talent for roofs. Who knows? If you do, I envy you. Yeah. So now we're kind of just working at the back of the house, which like the back of the house is kind of easier to make than the front because there are more pictures of the back and like more footage than of the front of the house. So the only picture that I found of the front is just like the entrance and then everything is kind of covered by trees. So that doesn't really help me, you know. But the back is just full on exposed. That's kind of easy to copy. Another thing that I would wish in The Sims is just rounded pools, rounded stairs, all that. I need to have like spiral staircases. Like, I need that. Also, bigger columns. Because these ones that I put in, like, they are one of the most dramatic columns in the game, but they're just still not dramatic enough. So I decided to double on that to just make it more columny, if you know what I mean. Yes, now we're just doing kind of the area on the back. At least the foundations are rounded, so I could use that. And we're just kind of making it all marble as it is. Everything about this house is really like extra. And I think the shell, surprisingly, it's not that expensive yet. I think it's around 180k by now. Um, it's not that expensive, but we'll see with the furniture and everything. I think it's going to be around 1 million. Yeah, so here I just kind of use the fence from Get Famous, and it has those ugly little X's, so I just covered it up with some bushes and some lights. And I think that it looks kind of nice. I'm happy with it. Yeah, so you can see that I did some of the parts off camera. Now I'm using debug columns because I just felt like they were the most fitting ones for the area that is there. I think I might include the reference pictures that I'm going off at the end of this video, so you can kind of compare how I did. If you don't know Dynasty, if you've never watched it, just so you know what we're building here. Yeah. The front of the house was a struggle. It was really, really difficult to make. I did not know at first that if you put fences on a hill, the fences do follow the hill, which is really, really cool. That's a brand new discovery for me. I never knew that was happening, so I did spend like 30 minutes trying to put bushes into like the shape of that, and then I found out that fencing can do that. So that was very, very welcome. Thank you, The Sims 4. And so we just kind of did that area outside. I couldn't find a perfect door for the entrance. I wanted to use the door that came with university, but I just didn't have like good swatch. So we ended up using door from Get Famous, and we're doing the windows. And here we are at the end of the video. I'll see you in part 2, where we'll struggle with the floor plan. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!